Operation Confidence proudly presents America's Invisible Heroes radio talk show. Tune in weekly on Sundays from 2 to 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time with your hosts, Consuelo Mackey, co-host U.S. Air Force veteran Matt Davidson, announcers Taylor Marcella and Brooke Gadesi, U.S. Army veteran and entertainment host Charles Whitehead, U.S. Army Special Forces veteran and I Once Was Whole segment host Richard Cook, U.S. Army veteran and Lifeline for Women's Veterans segment host Martha Elena Varela, National Faith Program Director and Veterans in Recovery segment host Anthony Akimpora, and U.S. Air Force veteran and Incarceration to Success segment host Kevin Lewandowski. For more information or to be a guest on our show, email info@operationconfidence.org.
Operation Confidence is a grassroots nonprofit. The organization's mission is to provide stable housing for veterans who have experienced homelessness, as well as providing a wide range of supportive services. To help accomplish our goal, a successful landowner has donated land for the project, a world-renowned architect has offered to design the houses, and construction classes from the local community colleges will take part in building the houses. Your support and donations are needed. To get involved, please visit our website at www.operationconfidence.org or email info@operationconfidence.com.
Well, hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to America's Invisible Heroes, the show dedicated to our veterans and their families. Yes, I'm your host, Consuelo Mackey, Executive Director of a grassroots nonprofit organization called Operation Confidence. No, I'm not a veteran, but my heart goes out to our American heroes, especially those who are disabled and experience homelessness. Now, let me introduce you to our co-host for today. We have U.S. Army Reserve veteran Charles Whitehead. He's also a board member. U.S. Army veteran Dr. Kathy Cash. She has a bi-monthly segment called Strategies for Hope. Lauren Hammond, she has a wonderful auction company called Creative Charities, and she's one of Operation Confidence's sponsors. And then last but not least, we have U.S. Army veteran Dr. Wendy Cash. She has a bi-monthly segment called Living Life Completely. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
Okay.
Hi.
Correction, there is Dr. Wendy Childress.
Childress.
What did I say?
Wendy Cash.
Wendy Cash. But it's okay.
Let's start this over with again. Sorry.
No, continue.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yes. No, it's okay. That was all right.
Duh. I'm looking right at it too. Okay, so please forgive me. Charles, start the first segment, please.
The first segment, all right. Today's is about veteran-owned businesses. Veteran-owned businesses make up a significant part of the U.S. economy. As of 2021, there were nearly 338,000 such businesses nationwide, accounting for 5.9% of all businesses. Most veteran-owned businesses are small businesses. The majority of veteran-owned firms have just 1 to 4 employees, and so that's 54%, and then 71.3% have been between 1 and 9. With all that in mind, lawmakers have made it their business to help veteran entrepreneurs succeed, especially those who own small businesses. In 1999, Congress passed the Veterans Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development Act. The new law directed that aid be given both to veterans and service-disabled veterans. As a result, the federal government now prioritizes contracts for veteran-owned small businesses and service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs and the U.S. Small Business Administration oversee veteran-owned small businesses and service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses programs. Veterans Affairs awards a large amount of money each year to veterans through set-aside contracts and contract awards offered under its Veterans First contracting program. Set-asides are contracts open only to small businesses. Some are open to all small businesses, but others are only open to businesses that participate in SBA contracting assistance programs. Disabled veterans can receive funds through the SDVOSB program, which seeks to award at least 3% of annual federal contracting dollars to small businesses owned by disabled vets. If you are a veteran or service disabled vet who owns a small business, here's everything you need to know about certification, verification, resource, and federal contracts. For more information, you can call 888-325-5172, and I say that's 888-325-5172. Now, me, I'm not service connected. I am a veteran, and I do have a small business. And it's a couple of years ago, I got into the trucking business, and it wasn't fun in the beginning. And finally, things are starting to pan out, and so it's worth the time. I'm determined, and I'm not happy where I'm at right now with it. So I'm pushing and pushing and pushing and calling and calling and calling, and so I have one truck, and I signed up. So it kind of happened. I bought the truck and leased it to some friends of mine who started a trucking company in 2020. But it didn't work out. Just not because of something they did or whatever. It's just the whole aspect of the business was kind of like, everybody's making money but the owner of the truck. And I said, no, this is not going to work. So we ended that business deal, and I took over, and I said, well, I can just do this myself, and I've learned a lot. But up until the last 5 months, I've been paying for my truck out of my pocket.
Oh my goodness.
For the note at least. And so for the last 5 months, the truck has been paying for itself, and it's starting to so I've signed up with the ports, and there's plenty of work. And being a veteran, I'm just it wasn't the program that helped me. It's just that kind of how things worked out. But there are a lot of veterans who can get involved in even truck driving. They have programs that set aside for veterans who drove trucks in the military and things like that. And so it's working out.
I think you got some pictures with veterans in the trucking industry that are in wheelchairs. Do you have that available?
Yeah, let me see here. This is one of these. Give me a second here. Let's see. Yeah,
I think that'd be quite interesting.
Yeah, there are people with who like. I believe there are guys who drive big rigs, and they have equipment for that stuff.
Right. Hydraulic lifts and all of that, right?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, here's one, and here's two. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna show you this. And this is very interesting because I used to own limousines, and people found it shocking to see a guy in a wheelchair, driving a limo. But hey, you know what? Whatever
Right.
works.
I love it.
Okay, let's see here. Let's share these. Let's see. One of them is very small, but I'm gonna show it anyway. Okay. Which one? Can you see the big white truck or no?
No, we see just your name.
Okay, hold up. Wait a
You
minute.
say you start a screen share.
Let me stop the screen share now. It's very tiny. I don't know if I can share.
Well, let's go to the next one. That we have.
Yes, I will. So you have to give it the Wi-Fi out here is not the greatest.
Where are you? You're not in LA. I mean, right? You out?
I'm in Victorville. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, that's quite interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm sure he's just doing it for show right now, but generally, this thing, and they have a bar right here. I don't know how well you can see that, but
Yeah, I see it.
and and then it's lowers his chair down, like he's in his chair, lowers it down, he gets in, and I believe he can take and hold his wheelchair up, and once he gets to a certain point, to start dismantling like we do when we're in a car. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I've seen videos. And if you're a disabled vet and you're interested, go to YouTube and look up disabled truck drivers, and you'll see parts of this stuff.
Then
So
of course and also go to info at Operation Confidence or at info at operationconfidence.org and contact Charles. You're almost an expert in that area.
well, I'm not going to even go that.
Somewhat.
That now you
At
really.
least you'll be able, because if you go to YouTube, it takes you around about.
Yes, and then I have a. Um, I've shown this before. I'll just show you just a quick.
Yeah, let's see your truck.
So this is my truck. It's a 2015 Kenworth T680, which it's got a double bunk, microwave, and all of that stuff. And it's so
Kind of fancy there, kid.
fancy little kid. So it. When I got the truck, I was like, I don't want to get something that's kind of lesser. So I went to the experts, and people will tell me, oh, these are like the better trucks, and it's an automatic too. So I have to drive a stick, and that's the great part of these trucks now. So
That's cool.
and then I
Well,
also have a logo. I'm gonna show you, and then I'll let you guys go, and then we'll go to the next segment. I made up a logo with my business name here. So as you can see there.
oh, that's cute.
So the concept is I'm pushing the wheelchair and power because I'm a musician. I made this truck out of music stuff, and then this one I took one of my guys. He's been on the show, Albert Campos, and made his truck out of tools because he's always working on his wheelchair. We played wheelchair basketball together for years.
That's your partner?
Yes, and he doesn't even wear a hat. And I said, man, put a hat on. He said, oh, give me a baseball cap. I said, okay. But always, when we get ready to this game time, Albert's over there working on his chair. Come on, man, let's go. So
That's a cute. That's your logo. Is that on the truck?
it is. I made a logo, and because you have to have your, somewhere in here you have to have your DOT numbers and all of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's it. So
That's cool.
that's my story.
All right. So that's so cool. Congratulations.
And thank you. So
Okay, take it away, Dr. Cash.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Kathy Cash, U.S. Army veteran, CEO and founder of Strategies for Hope Peer Empowerment Center. I am a certified peer specialist, a peer advocate in the community, and I pastor Determined to Know Christ Ministries, an online ministry. Today, I'm going to bring some information about Camp Lejeune and the contaminated water. But before I get started, please join me in a word of prayer, if you will. Heavenly Father, how we say thank you for just the blessings of this day. Lord, we thank you for Operation Confidence and all that is being done to support our veterans. Lord, so many people say that they care about the veterans. When Veterans Day come around, they say, thank you for your service, but then that's the extent of what many people do. So we thank you for those who have the foresight, those who are determined to do something to support our veterans. Lord, we've given our lives for this country. And when we come home, it's very difficult to reintegrate into society. So Lord, as we are going through the reintegration processes, we are supporting one another in this endeavor. We thank you for all those who are coming on board and helping us to do that. Lord, we ask your blessings upon this organization, the leadership, and all those who are watching and participating. We thank you in your mighty, matchless name. Amen, amen, amen.
Amen.
Amen. So lately, if you've watched TV or up late at night, they're even showing these commercials everywhere. But there are various attorney firms who are asking veterans if they served at Camp Lejeune. And they are working with them to become compensated for what's happened at Camp Lejeune. So for those who don't know, between 1950s and 1980s, all those who were living or working at this Marine Corps base, again, Camp Lejeune in North Carolina, they were potentially exposed to drinking water. They were drinking this water, they were bathing in this water, they were cooking with this water that was contaminated with industrial solvents, such as benzene, and there's some other chemicals that were in this water for over 30 years. If you lived there, if you worked there, you served there, you were subject to this contamination. So the VA is aware of this, and they are working with veterans to become aware of which veterans are in need of medical services based on the fact that they were at Camp Lejeune and exposed to the contaminated water. So they're saying that any veteran that served at Camp Lejeune between August 1st of 1953 to December 31st of 1987, there's a list of presumptive conditions that you may have or that you have. The VA is saying that this is the result, could be the result of the contaminated water at Camp Lejeune. So those 8 presumptive conditions are adult leukemia, aplastic anemia, bladder cancer, kidney cancer, liver cancer, multiple myeloma, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and Parkinson's disease. So these are 8 of what they call the presumptive service conditions, service connection conditions. And what it means by presumptive is if you were there and you have this, it was because you were there. Any of these diseases, the VA will see that it is service connected. And service connected means that the disability or the illness is related to your time in military service. So when someone asks you, do you have a service connection? That's what service connection means. So for those who served at Camp Lejeune, again, it was a Marine Corps base, but there were other branches of service that may have trained there, family members that lived there. That is what the VA is trying to find. All of those who have these presumptive conditions, who served at Camp Lejeune, they want you to come forward so that you can get your health taken care of, you can get compensated for it, and then they can also get to your family members and others who may be there, who may have been there. There's also a list of about 15 other conditions that they're still in the works, still kind of studying if they're really due to the water. But if you have these other conditions, then they want you to contact them because they can compensate you for that as well. And also give you medical care, because that's the biggest thing, giving you medical care, medical attention because of these conditions. There were several cancers that included esophageal cancer, breast cancer, kidney cancer, lung cancer, bladder cancer, leukemia, renal toxicity, female infertility, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, miscarriages, neurobehavior effects. These are some of the other conditions that could be a result of the contaminated water at Camp Lejeune. So the VA is encouraging veterans who think that first of all, veterans who served during that time, contact the VA, contact your medical team and let them know that you served during that time. If you're not connected, then get connected to the VA. Get connected to the VA because they want to make sure that you are taken care of. And in that same vein, help other veterans to get taken care of. Because you may have something that is not on this list, but they're able to, through research, trace back to the fact that because you were exposed to the contaminants at Camp Lejeune, then that's why you have that particular issue. So one of the things that we're also concerned with is the predators that come for the veteran who is seeking service connection. If you're trying to get your service connection, and what that means is you're filing a claim with the VA that basically says, I have these health conditions that I have simply because I was in the military. I was in the military, and because I was in the military, I have this condition. So that's how they determine the service connection. as you're receiving your medical care, that builds the evidence that whatever you're claiming is wrong, as you're receiving treatment for it, they're able to gather that evidence so that when you go to file your claim, you have the evidence that, yes, this is why I'm filing, because this is wrong and I'm still getting treatment for it. Because when we talk about that service connection, when we talk about what happened to you in the military health-wise, it damages and lessens your quality of life. So the compensation comes because you can't live the full life that you could have been living, and not necessarily you could have been living a better life than you're living, but because of this disease, because of this situation, because of the circumstance from your service in the military, we're going to give you compensation for it. You can file online at va.gov, or you can go to a veteran service organization, such as the American Legion, Disabled Veterans, Purple Heart, or you can go to your VA regional office. Any of these places, you can go and get your claim started and get your claim followed through. And once you file your claim, if you're denied, there's an appeal process. So once again, during the appeal process, you go to these service officers, you go to the regional office, and they will give you support in filing your claim and refiling your claim and understanding why it was denied. Sometimes it's just a matter of a medical record wasn't included, or maybe there's not enough evidence that you're showing that you had this condition. But you want to make sure that if you served at Camp Lejeune, that you want to have your DD 214 would show that you served there. If you lived on posts, if you lived at the base, you have housing orders. There are various kinds of documentation that you can use to prove that you were there to get connected for those presumptive issues, or get compensation, reimbursement, or even medical care for the other issues. So you want to make sure that you don't fall prey to the predators. Attorneys will come and they will tell you that they can get you your money, and they get you back pay, and they give you all these great big numbers. And then if it is not a VA approved attorney, then the predators can get you for 50, 60% of whatever money you're getting. The VA caps it at 20% as a reasonable amount, because the attorneys won't take your case unless they know that they can win, because they don't charge you anything up front. But if it's a VA accredited attorney, then they won't charge you anything. And after everything is done, you'll pay them 20%, not 30%, not 50%. But that's what happens with some of the predatory legal people.
Wow, that's terrible.
So and they take advantage of veterans all the time.
Can you tell me why would the military allow this contaminated water to be killing our veterans or providing them with this horrible disease? What was over 30 years?
Yes.
Why?
That is a good question.
I could tell you the answer to that.
What, Charles?
Go ahead, Charles.
They didn't know.
Oh,
They didn't know. You know,
were they drinking
a lot
it
of
too?
things. And what I mean is they didn't know. Just like a lot of people join the military, they're recruited, and the recruiters don't know. They don't focus on you getting out of service. They focus on you being in. And then when you get out, you know, they put you back on the streets where you came from. And, you know, it's like, oh, what do I do now? So there's a lot of they don't know. And what I mean by they don't know, like the water thing, maybe they didn't know when it was happening, or somebody knew and they really didn't make it a public thing because it would have sounded or looked bad. And now it's coming out, you know, because sometimes it happens like that a lot. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I mean by they didn't know.
Yeah. And then there were probably several veterans who, Marine veterans who had these conditions.
Mm-hmm.
And when a bunch of people show up with the same problem from the same place, it's like, wow, maybe we should look at that place, because we have all these veterans who are coming, who are showing up with cancer. Yeah. And they didn't have cancer before, and their life has been well, you know how when somebody says that I've been diagnosed with lung cancer, but I never smoked a day in my life,
Right.
you get a bunch of people who come up with cancer diagnoses, and you're looking for that common piece. Because as veterans, we take part in a lot of research.
Mhm.
And as they're doing the service connection and beginning to look at all of the data, and then they begin to research, and then somebody asks a question. Wait a minute, I saw 5 Marines today, and all 5 of them have the same issue. And they all served at the same time, and they all served in the same place. Somebody's light bulb came on and said, we ought to look into that.
Sure
And that's
took 'em a
when they
long
were able to
time.
stop it.
Sure took them a long time though, to look at.
And like she said, sometimes it takes multiple people to report that, because they'll discount it as, you know, it's just something, you know, and then they push it to the side like it's no big deal. But when you
Mhm.
get a bunch of people with the same diagnosis, oh, okay, maybe we ought to look into it.
Yeah.
And that's why I say that whole they didn't know thing kind of covers it, all of these different reasons. And so,
Charles, do you remember several months ago, we had a guest on the show that had been, had gotten cancer because of being a cancer?
yes, I remember him. He lost a lot of weight. I was thinking about
Right,
him
right.
a couple of weeks ago.
Exactly. It was a couple of months ago he was on, but
Yeah, I
it
remember.
was, he gave us a heart-wrenching story, and how it's now, you know, he's just fading away. He has family. He's trying to leave some type of legacy for his children. It's
Yeah.
really heartbreaking.
Yeah, he had, you know, he said he was down 100 pounds from when he was two something, and like
Yeah, he's a
something.
little guy now.
And you know, he says he's going to make sure all of his kids have, and his grandkids will go to college. He put, you know, he said, I put my money aside to make sure all of my kids
Right,
kids will go to college, you know. So I remember him very well.
right. It
I
was
wondered about
great.
him, and I thought about him a couple of weeks ago. I said, I wonder how he's doing, you know. Just
Right,
Wow.
right.
And
And the good,
I was just going to say, I think they probably should look at a lot of these bases, because many of them are old
Mhm.
World War I, II bases with lead paint flying and peeling all over. I'm thinking of Camp Roberts in particular. I know when I
uh-huh.
first went there, my first time there is like, this place is not fit for man or beast. I mean,
Really?
paint chips falling all off in the showers or latrine, and bunks, the barracks. It's like, oh, this. So I'm quite sure quite a few bases need to be inspected, because I'm sure it's more than just Camp Lejeune that has issues.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And that's why one of the things, as a community advocate, a community peer advocate, I'm always encouraging those who have served to go to the VA and become part of the VA care system, because that's where they're finding out that these things are happening. When you show up to get your care taken care of, then your information becomes a matter of record, such that you know that you served at wherever you served. And so as they began to look at your health, then they'll compare that to others who have served, who they've seen before, they've served in the same places where you've served.
Mhm.
So it's not so much just for you, because as veterans, we're there for our brother and our sister. And that's what I share with, especially our Vietnam era vets, who they've come home. They say, I don't want to have anything to do with the VA. So they went, they worked their jobs. They're now, they're retiring or have already retired. They're paying money to Kaiser and to all these other health plans. And then they have these things that are wrong with them, but they're not going to go to the VA. So I encourage them, go to the VA, allow the VA to check you out, because what's going on with you may be affecting another veteran. And that'll be the catalyst for the VA to start looking at other situations. That's where there's so many presumptive conditions with Agent Orange. If you served in Vietnam, you're subject to Agent Orange. And it's the list of presumptives it keeps increasing, because people keep showing up. Well, I was in Vietnam, or I was during that era, or I worked the morgue, or I was on the plane as they were unloading the equipment or the bodies, and I came in contact with it. So we're learning all of this now as the time passes on.
That's amazing. But you always have some outstanding information to share. We really want to thank you. Is there a number, or just the VA? Is there any
Just get
number
in touch with the VA.
they're just on, they must, I don't know how many commercials on all day long regarding this. Are
Yes,
these legal attorneys that are, or is this connected with the VA or what? Because
they're
that
legal
commercial
attorneys.
comes on all day long.
Yes, they're in
Every
their own
time.
private practice. They're in their own private practice. They'll get the veteran connected to the VA to get them started. But then I don't know what their background is,
Mhm.
because again, if they're not accredited by the VA,
Yeah.
they'll want to take 50% of whatever compensation a veteran gets.
Oh, yeah, hold on just a minute.
We can hear you. Can you mute yourself, Ann?
Call you back in about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Mute yourself, Ann. There you go. Okay. Right.
So
Well, that's
why we just encourage veterans to go to the VA first. Go to the VA, get your claim established, and then
Right.
talk to another veteran about an attorney, because veterans know attorneys that have helped them. And it's
Okay.
all about having an attorney that's fair.
Right, for sure. Well, thank you so much. That was some great information. We
Mhm.
really thank you for that. We need to hear that out there in our world, because I mean, especially in our community, because this is just horrible. Just absolutely
Yes.
horrible. All right. Well, thank you so much. I know you're on the road. You got to go, but we want to thank you for pulling over and giving us that wealth of information for sure.
All right,
Thank
you're welcome. And thank you so much. I'll see you all soon.
See you in
All
a
right.
couple
Take care.
weeks.
Drive safe.
All right.
Drive safe. Okay, it's on you, Dr. Childers. Forgive me for, I don't know how I could have messed your name up, but please forgive me.
That's okay. You merged Kathy and I together. It's all right.
Yeah.
I won't cry
Oh,
over
I
that.
said Wendy
offended.
Cash. What was I thinking? Go ahead.
Maybe I'm coming into some cash. I don't know. I'll look at it as prophetic.
there you
How
go.
about that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, there you go.
Yeah, I'm
That.
looking at that as prophetic. And Dr. Cash gave us a beautiful prayer, and which works. I'm always smiling. I like to see God work, because I'm not going to open with prayer today. I am going to open with the scripture, and you'll see why. I am going to read 1 Corinthians 6:19 and 20.
Before you do
Do you
that, can
not-
you let our audience know who you are and your background? You also are.
Oh, sure. So I am Dr. Wendy Childress. I have a couple of things going on. I'm a certified Christian life coach. I also have a ministry that I do, Bible study ministry that I do, and working on getting my nonprofit in place. And I am a retired veteran, medically retired. And let's see, Army I served in the reserves, the National Guard, and Army, all three of those. And I don't like talking about myself. How about that?
I got you.
Yeah,
You have to
it's
know
hard
who
for me.
you are.
Mhm.
Well, yes, you do. And
Yeah.
it's hard for me to,
Yeah.
so
you
I
very
hope
please.
that's sufficient. I
Yeah.
hope that's enough information. Okay, so I am going to read to you 1 Corinthians 6:19 through 20. And of course, I am a Christian. I'm reading from the Bible. So not that all people are that listen to the show, but it's okay. You still can benefit from it. It says, do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your bodies. And that scripture came to me because today I am going to give a few self-care tips. And what is self-care? Self-care is not, I'm sorry, Charles, were you going to say something?
Uh-uh.
Okay. Self-care is not synonymous with selfish. Self-care is, simply put, caring for one's self, of which often women put everybody before them. African American women put the whole world before them. And not caring for self can be detrimental. It can lead to things like depression, heart disease, diabetes, insomnia, anxiety, resentment, anger, frustration, you name it. Not taking care of self is detrimental to one's health. And so to take care of self, I am going to give just a few possible things to do to take care of self. And so I'm going to cover 4 areas: spiritual, emotional, physical, and mental.
And these are subjects that you cover in your life coaching, right?
These are, I cover all, yes.
Okay. Since this is just a little bit, I understand, but
and I'm glad you said that. And Living Life Completely is the name of my company, and of which I do the life coaching through. And for spiritual care, just a few thoughts or pointers of what you can do for spiritual care. But I have to emphasize that it is very, very important to take care of yourself. And you can plug in self-care, you can plug in mental health, and you'll see over 15 million people in the US suffer from major depression, and you'll see suicides, and you'll see the anxiety if you just plug it in. And a lot of that is attributed to a lack of self-care. And that's why I emphasize it's not selfish, because if we don't take care of our bodies, which is a temple, it's your temple, you only get one. If you don't take care of it, then 1, it can't take care of you. And then 2, you're no good to take care of anyone else. You cannot take care of others if you are on half full, or on running on 30%, or running on 20%, and then you're trying to take care of others. It's just not going to work out so well. It's not going to work out well for them, and it's definitely not going to work out well for you. So it is imperative that you take care of yourself, and then that way you'll be balanced enough to take care of others. And just a few, I'm not going to belabor it, but I'm just going to give a few different ideas that you can do for each category or area that I mentioned. And for spiritual, in the area of spiritual, 1, realize spiritual care or spiritual self-care is a never-ending process. So it is continuous. So you're going to always be pouring into and taking care of your spirit. And it does not matter what your faith background is. You can be Buddhist, you can be Muslim, you can be Islam, you can be Christian, you can be whatever your background is. It is never ending. And for Christians, of course, Bible study. For all of us, meditation is good. Having an active prayer life. Solitude is good. Solitude is good. Disconnect. And solitude fits in every last area of your life, emotional and physical. Solitude is good. We have become so connected. You know, I'm not a big fan of technology. This has become an extension of our bodies. We can't function without it. We can't function without this. We can't function without computers. You always want to tap, tap, tap. Cut all of that off. Cut that off and take time for yourself, for emotional care.
One time I forgot my phone at home when I was on the freeway, and I literally turned around and came back home to pick up that device. I mean, I was lost without it. Like you said, it's an extension of us, you know.
It is.
And don't let it die out or nothing. What the heck? What do I do now?
Right. And it's really, really sad. And not only is an extension of ourselves, our young people are losing the art of socialization and communication. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to socialize, because all they do is text.
Exactly.
They don't know how to write because all they do is text.
Yes, don't get me started in that area.
Is being lost.
Yeah.
Horrible. The art of writing is almost non-existent. So disconnect. Think of the matrix, disconnect from that matrix and
Right.
just enjoy some solitude, enjoy nature. That works in every category too. Emotionally, especially with you hua and all of you service men and women, have somebody you can talk to, because you are not an island unto yourself. You cannot make it through this world on your own, and you cannot handle everything that life throws at you on your own. So having someone to talk to is important. Humor,
Right.
find humor in every situation that you can. We've heard of the saying, laughter is good for the soul. Find some humor so that you don't take things so seriously that it begins to affect you, because then you become a perfectionist, and then instead of it being being serious and you think that it's causing you to excel, it actually causes you to crash sometimes, because you burn yourself out trying to make it, trying to do it, trying to accomplish these things. So
And try to
find humor.
please others too.
Yes.
Mhm.
And gratitude. Gratitude. You'll be amazed how expressing gratitude actually affects you emotionally.
And giving back.
I do, yeah, identify your emotions. You
Mhm.
know, sometimes we don't want to. It's okay. It's okay. And men, it's okay. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel low. Those emotions are okay. Identify them, and then you can deal with them properly. I often, with journaling, and those of us that have young people or teenagers, or even kids,
Mhm.
sometimes I often recommend writing, because is cathartic. It helps you to express. It also helps you when you see it on paper. When you write it, it really helps you to see what you're dealing with. It helps you to get your emotions out. Let's see. We know breathing techniques and positive affirmation. Do and like you said, Consuelo, you hit it. Do something nice for someone else without expecting anything
Anything.
in
Right.
return.
Right.
Be a
So
blessing to someone. So
so
in
true.
yes, so into other people, and don't worry about it. It'll come back to you if you just do it generously and from your
Miracles just happen because of it.
yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Right.
And I'm gonna say this one, two more in the emotional part. Refrain from being self-critical, because oftentimes we are our own worst critic. And
Mhm.
once you
Right.
begin criticizing yourself, no matter what anybody else says, they can say you're brilliant, you're beautiful, you're talented, you're gifted, and you're gonna say, no, I'm not. I'm not that. And that just lowers your self-esteem.
Yes, it does.
So don't be critical of yourself. Do not be overly critical of yourself. And guess what? It's okay to say no. I had to learn this because I'm a helper and a giver by nature. And
Right.
one of my
Me too.
mentors, my I was in my mid 30s, and a mentor of mine says, "You know what? You can say no." Like, really? I can say no? And she says, yes, you overextend yourself. And for me, which many young people and also, and I'm going to say 40 and under, a lot of them don't understand this concept. But for me, growing up in my generation and older, we understood your word is your bond.
Right.
If you say, I'm going to be there, then you're going to be there. You could
Right.
be exhausted, you can have one eye, your leg fell off, but you're going to be there
Right.
because you told them you were going to be there. And
Exactly.
that's, for some of us, it becomes detrimental because you're exhausted, you're burnt out, but you said you're going to be there. So it's okay to say no. You know what? I really would like to help you. I wish you the best and success, and I hope you find somebody that can, but I just can't at this time. Or I
Right.
really would like to go, but not as I can't at this time. So it is okay to say no. And as far
Right.
as physical, we hear about the exercising, and exercising doesn't have to mean you're in the gym for 5 hours a day. You can go for a nature walk. You can go
Right.
hiking. You can just go for a walk around your neighborhood several
Mhm.
times a week. But you need to get enough physical exercise and you need to get enough rest.
That's
You need
extremely important.
very important. You need to eat well,
That's right.
get rid of all the fast foods and extra sugars. Because if
Oh,
you pay attention, sugars actually make you more sluggish than anything. Everything,
right.
anything in moderation is fine. I'm not saying eliminate your sugar. We all want a piece of cake or a cookie or something, sweet tea. I love sweet tea, but don't overindulge in sugars because it actually makes you more sluggish than anything. How
Right.
about a relaxing bath? How about treating
Right.
yourself to a massage from time to time? Those are some things that you can do physically for your health and for self-care. And then for socially, here's a surround yourself with people that have positive attitudes.
Right.
You do not want the negative people around.
Right.
They
Exactly.
will drain the life out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like a black
So
cloud hanging over.
Like a black hole.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
It's
yes. So
terrible.
make sure you surround yourself with positive, and I'm not saying to surround yourself with people who are yes men or yes women and just going to praise everything that you do. You're the best thing since sliced bread. Surround yourself with positive people who have a positive outlook on life,
Right.
who have a positive outlook on their future and the future of others, who does not always have something negative to say.
Exactly.
I don't know if you've experienced these people. You call them, it's always oh, my dog ran off, the husband ran
Yeah.
off, my car broke,
Yeah.
nobody loves me.
It's like
This
you're the
draining.
sounding board,
Yes, that is
I
draining.
can't stand it.
Yeah,
Yes,
there's that part, and then there are the ones who are having problems, but you wouldn't know because they're still pushing the positivity of it. It's like, you know what? I just lost 3 teeth. My car got crashed. My this, but you know what? I'm still here, and
I'm
that's the
still
Right.
here.
way. That's the way I take. That's my
Yes,
opinion.
those
Right.
are the ones because we all experience problems and it's okay to
Mhm.
have problems, but it's not okay. You don't want to dwell
Yeah, yeah,
on negativity.
yeah.
Okay, I'm dealing with this. I know what my issue is, but I'm looking at how do I overcome this? How do I move forward from this?
Yeah.
There was with what you just said, Charles, I always think about a church that I attended when I lived in Georgia. Never knew. Ray was the Sunday school teacher. I did not know till he passed that he was on dialysis. That man showed up every Sunday with
Mm-hmm.
a smile, walked in with his head up, chest out, always, always. I never knew, and I know I was not the only one that anything that he was having any health issues, never knew it. And it's okay. I'm not saying that all of us can't do that, but we all don't have, all of us can work on having a positive attitude through whatever it is we're going through. And guess it'll help you get through it. So it's not
Right.
just about impacting other people, it's about you impacting your own life. If you have a different perception on what you just look at it differently, it can take you out of that depression. It can take you out of that frustration. It can really help you along.
Mhm.
Volunteer. People be surprised what volunteering
Oh
does.
God, yeah. That's my name, Consuela got volunteer Mackey.
Yeah, when you volunteer and you put a smile on somebody else's face,
Right.
all the reward that you need.
Miracles come out the sky. I'm trying
Yeah,
to tell you, I know what
it's
you mean.
all the reward that you need.
Yeah.
And I am a big advocate for disconnecting. And you may have you have families, husband, children, maybe parents you take care of, it's okay. I always suggest that maybe you can't always do a weekend trip, can't do a quick staycation, but I suggest to people carve out whether it's 2 hours, 2 to 4 hours, once a week or twice a month. On Saturday morning, this is my time. I'm going to get up. I'm leaving home at 8 o'clock. I'll be back about noon, 1 o'clock. I am not answering any phone calls. Don't call me. And if no one is dying and a house is not burning down, don't call me because I'm not going to answer. And take you a book. Maybe you like nature. Go out into the mountains. Maybe you like here in California, you can go to the ocean. I used to love when I lived inland, I would go to Malibu and watch the dolphins play, but I didn't answer the phone. Maybe you like the woods or wooded areas. Go hiking, take a book, sit down, whatever it is, but disconnect and make sure people understand that that time is just your time. Disconnect so that you can replenish you.
Right.
And again, you don't have to, and I understand that's part of our problems here, is that we all are busy. If you're not busy, then something's wrong with you. You're lazy, you're not doing enough, you're not a mover or a shaker. You're busying yourself into an early grave. Take time, breathe, relax, make time to take care of.
That's so wonderful, Dr. Wendy. That's just beautiful what you shared. As always, you got always something encouraging to share to our audience. You're just a special lady, you know that.
And learn to accept compliments. Thank you, Consuela, because that was hard for me too.
You did a beautiful job.
Well, I'm going to share this one last thing. I was told, because I'm not good at receiving compliments. I'm better now. I can receive them. But I was not good at receiving compliments. And God sent me a seasoned woman who had given me a compliment. And I started to say, we deflect compliments, a lot of us. And she says, stop. And it's like, yes, ma'am. She says, when someone gives you a compliment, you just accept it because that's their gift to you.
Exactly.
And I said, wow.
And that's their opinion of you, you know?
Yeah. So just looking at it, that brought my spectrum. It's like, I never thought of a compliment as just a real gift. And she says, that's a gift. Just accept that gift that they're giving you. It's like, okay. So accept the gift when somebody gives you a compliment. Say thank you with a smile.
Well, thank you so much. You're so precious. We really enjoyed all that good healing, all that good information for self-care and loving you. I mean, it's nothing wrong in loving you.
Nothing.
You know, because if you love you, which is God's temple, then you'll be able to love others. That's the way I feel about it. You know?
That is exactly right, Connie.
And in my life, I've helped so many individuals, especially those with disabilities. And because of that, I mean, I've seen them. Perfect example is Charles. I mean, do extraordinary things and never complain, you know. And if I get a little hurt here, hurt out, I just drag it on. My foot hurts, so my knee. Shut up, knee, let's go. You know, it's because there's people doing extraordinary things that are way, like you speaking about the pastor. You know, look at that. He had to deal with that every day, and he still came in church and gave a beautiful sermon every day. I mean, every Sunday. So that tells you.
Complaining never got you any money or healed you. So
no, it just make people don't want to be around you.
No.
You know. But thank
you. And it brings you down. Complaining actually brings you down.
Yeah,
so
it does.
Stop complaining. Turn that negative into a positive. Instead of saying, I don't feel good or my head. Listen, I'm going to be better.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're going to move right along here now. I see Ann slipped in here on us, but before that, we're going to let Lauren take it away. Take it away, Lauren.
Well, my name is Lauren Hammond, and my company is called Creative Charity Auctions. And I raise money for nonprofits and charities, schools, churches, synagogues, and any other organization looking to raise money. And I do that by providing items for their silent, live, and online auctions. I have hundreds of items in my inventory ranging from sports, music, entertainment collectibles, art, jewelry, handbags, political pieces, so many things, and lots of travel, both local, domestic, and international. And I'm finding right now people are so anxious to get away that
Right.
we are selling travel at almost every event. And my travel rep right now is working on about 15 packages from people who are booking their travel over the last 2-3 months. So it's a great way to raise money. And we help in any way we can with the nonprofit. We do golf tournaments, galas, casino nights, wine festivals, and concerts. And so we can really gear what we bring to each event. And Charles, if you want to show some of the setups that we have, we've got some music pieces. We created a piece of women in history, women who've made a difference in history, and Marilyn Monroe and Lucy are huge sellers. Aretha Franklin, Prince, great on the music side. The Beatles sell at almost everything. And so we gear it, and we're constantly bringing in new items. And we have different setups depending on where we're going and what we're doing. And we always ask what the demographics and age range of the guests who will be attending, how much they're paying to attend, where the venue will be, if there's a theme, and then we gear it to that organization. And we don't charge for our services. They make money from the first bid on. And so that's what we do. We also started a store on our website. And if anyone goes and they looks at our store, they call us to buy an item, anything they purchase, they can pick the charity they'd like us to donate to, and we will do that on their behalf. So that's what we do, and we work with Operation Confidence, and we have for a few years. And
That's right.
we love raising money, and we do a lot for the vets, and so we love to help. And but basically, that's what we do, and we love creating new pieces. There are certain items that tend to sell at every event, so that we don't have the same one. We'll create some new items, which we've been starting to do a lot of, yet there are some we've been selling for years and still sell as well as they did. And we love creating new items which are selling now. So we'll continue.
Yes, beautiful, just beautiful setups too, and beautiful items, great items. You also have a sports collection with Kobe, and
Kobe's a huge seller, yes.
Yeah, that's a huge seller, right? Yeah, there's Kobe, and see, that's where that magic.
Dodgers are a great seller, and there are a lot of great pieces that.
And music breaks. Look at Michael Jackson. Is that his actual?
That's the least engraved. We have a lot of signed pieces, and then we have some digital.
I see Aretha Franklin. Yeah, I mean, just amazing.
Yeah. And so that's basically what we do, and we're always available to help raise money. And our goal is to raise as much as we can, and we do all the work and send the charity a check. So,
the most spookiest thing just happened. This voice
how do they
came
get
on.
in touch with you, Lauren?
I'm sorry.
How do people get in touch with you?
They can call my office. I'll give you two numbers. My office number is 818-840-1200. And my cell is 818-425-2244. And our website is creativecharityauctions.com.
Repeat those numbers again.
818-840-1200 and 818-425-2244.
That is so cool. And Lauren has been at a couple of our events with beautiful, beautiful displays. And We're always excited. She's raised money for Operation Confidence. She's one of our main sponsors. We're so happy to have you on the show, and always we call on you for when we give in our fundraiser events. We're gonna do it again, girl. We just had to stop for COVID, and social distancing, but we're back out there again. And the strangest thing, I had my phone sitting here, and I don't know if anyone heard it, and all of a sudden this voice came over saying that is now let's listen to Aretha Franklin with Amazing Grace. I don't know where that came from. That was the weirdest thing. You were just talking about Aretha. So that's really amazing.
They're triggered to hear certain trigger words, I should say.
Is that, that sounds like you last week when it was.
Whenever I'm at home and I'm talking about Amazon or anything, my speaker kicks off and start, I don't know anything about that. And it's just yakety.
Yeah, I think that's where that was so weird.
I stopped naming my speaker Alexa a couple of years ago because
that was Alexa kept coming on every time.
Yeah, so I have 3 of them, so they give you optional names. One of them's Ziggy, one of them's Echo, and one of them's Amazon. And I have to remember what room I'm in. It's like okay,
right.
So when I'm talking, it kind of just takes over. Hey, hush up back there.
So here's Ann. Hey, girl, that's Ann Montague.
Hi, my love. Can you hear me?
Yeah, she's representing the Rosies.
Okay.
The Rosies.
I just want to let you know that next weekend, of course, is Labor Day weekend. Mm-hmm. And that's when
tell them who you are, Ann. Folks don't know who you. Tell the audience who you are.
Oh, okay.
She represents Rosies, the Rosie the Riveters, and it's the
I've been working for 14 years to find the women who worked on the home front and figure out what is it they want to leave behind, not what is it that people perceive that they did or want to be known for.
Everybody don't know this extraordinary
they do not. They do not.
So who are they?
So the women who worked on the home front were, they're now, the youngest that we know is 93. They are mostly fading very, very fast, which is discouraging. But we are determined to have a nationwide search for these women over the next couple of 3 years. And also to do projects or to do something that shows that you understand what their legacy is. Mm-hmm. They do not see their legacy as making the atomic bomb or ships or whatever. They're proud of the labor they did and the quality work. But what they want their legacy to be is to pull together to do highest quality work for freedom.
Who were the Rosies? Everybody don't know. I mean, they're amazing, but who were
the youngest is 93. They worked in 8 or 9 different major places, such as shipyards, food growing, food processing, factories. Lots of them made clothing of different types or tents or whatever. Some of them did government work, and that's pretty important, much more than you would imagine. The group that I'm looking for right now are Native American women who helped with code breaking. So there's, any job that they did that essentially helped a war effort.
You're looking for African American women to serve also.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you've been working on that one for
one of the issues that we're dealing with right now is that Labor Day is always, or Labor Day weekend is always the time that we ring bells for Rosies in different countries and across America. This year, because I had a conference in Washington this last Monday, I haven't been able to put the time in it. So one of the reasons I came on today is I'm going to be sending you a box of bells. So we ring bells for Rosies, just so people, all you need to do is just be aware that they did quality work. They pulled together. That's the big thing. That the country needs unity now. And they want that more than anything. They want to be known for working together. Anyhow, I don't want to come in next Sunday because that's the end of the weekend. So anytime you can ring a bell for Rosie's and take a picture and send it to us, video would be great, but it doesn't have to be. Just ring a bell for a Rosie and be very aware that what the legacy they want to leave is that they pulled together. This is a picture of a lady that is fading now. Not sure if you can see her. See the bell in her hand?
Yes.
That's Anna. Anna Hess. She's been with us since 2013, I believe, 2014. And she's now fading and not able to take part. But
And we had several Rosies on the show before, and they were just absolutely amazing.
they're wonderful, but they are dying. Ruth that we had on 3 times, Ruth Edwards, whose husband was put in the death house at Baton Death March, and he was never psychologically able to work again. She died, let's see, it was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, she wasn't she the cute, the little funny one that had?
I can't tell. I'm really telling you, it was hard. She was supposed to be one of 2 Rosies at our summit in Washington, held at American University this last Monday. And she died. The man who was supposed to bring her with Department of Aging for North Carolina came in her place, but when you lose them, you just never get over it. You don't.
Yeah,
and we're losing them. So we've got to get this country aware that one way or another, we have to look for them.
And we have to commend you too. That Ann is amazing. She's like a little dynamo. She's out there making such a difference for the Rosies.
I'm trying. I will admit that it gets discouraging because when you are really close to one, like Ruth was on our board, and you lose them, it's just so difficult.
Yeah, you become so close to them, and we became so fond of them. I mean, these women were just absolutely amazing. They can remember stuff way back. It's
amazing. It's totally amazing.
World War II, and I mean verbatim, and they were like 90, 91, 90, 99.
There's a woman I would like to have on, but she's very hesitant. She was deaf from 3 illnesses at basically before she was 2, and she was left deaf. And she had a cochlear implant at age 82, married at age 88. He died 6 months later. That's the only time she'd ever been married. She was with this man all of her life. And I would really love to have her on next Sunday, but I don't think I can talk her into it. She's very shy about not being able to hear well.
Right.
She's an artist and she can draw. It would be great to get a video of her drawing exactly what she did on the assembly line. She can tell you what position, what wires she put where. She can draw the grids.
Maybe she'll come on audio.
Possibly, but I'm not sure.
Well, we want to thank you so much.
At this point, I'm having to push them a bit more than I like to be involved.
Well, we want to get involved with the bringing of the bells. That takes place when? Next month?
No, next weekend.
Next week? Oh my.
Next weekend. That's why I came on today, Consuela. I'm sending you. I just ordered on Amazon, or I'm ready to order. It's ready for me to push send. I need your address so I can send you a bell. So next Sunday, you can ring a bell for Rosie's.
Sure.
Beautiful handbells. It's a box of handbells, and each bell has a different tone.
Okay, I'll do that.
Send it to you. So send
My
me.
neighbors would think I lost my mind, but I'll let them give them a bell.
That's all right.
Give them a bell.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling. You know.
Yeah, that would be great. Well, thank you, Ann. I look
All right,
forward
thanks,
to
thank
that.
you, thanks.
Okay, now moving right along here. Okay, Charles, it's on you again.
Time for some hot news.
Some hot news.
Hot news. You know, it's like the sun with hot sauce on it. It's hot and it's flavorful. Today's hot news is about relationships for wheelchair users. Now, this isn't about me, but I'm saying it says I'm, so I'm just giving you, anyway. It's about me, my type of people, my peoples. Okay. I'm a U.S. Army Reserve veteran who uses a wheelchair. I found whether a full-time wheelchair user with upper body movement and strength or paralyzed from the neck down. This information may give you some advice on looking for romance and relationship. Everyone is different, as are people's disabilities. So you need to tweak these tips to apply them to your specific situation. But these will give you a springboard to start finding the right partner and enjoying sex. That's what it says. I'll say life. Okay. Finding the date. If you're looking for a partner, it's likely that you considered online dating. It opens up a whole new world of people, literally, whether they're disabled or not. There's a huge number of disabled dating sites, including one specifically for wheelchair users, such as wheelchair dating clubs. If you don't want to focus on wheelchair specific sites, see Disability Horizons article on the top disability dating sites. If you'd rather meet someone offline, look to see if there are any local groups or forums, either disability specific or for anyone. These might be focused on dating or on leisure activities. Either way, it'll be great. It'll be a great way to meet people near you. Facebook is a good place to start. Lots of local groups are formed that way, or try the website Meetup. Also look to join the Outsiders, which was set up a number of years ago to enable people with a disability to meet and support each other. They have regular meetings across the country as well as online chat groups. Now, I don't do disabled sites. I don't do any, but I've heard about people who have done those sites, and I know I can tell you some people have met that I know who are like like the ladies in the wheelchair or the man is in the wheelchair, regardless of what disability they have, and they met someone online, and then I know they've went on to be married. So it works. It's just a matter of you gotta look for that special person, that one that does it for you, and hey, you can do that, or you might get lucky and go to the grocery store or to the ball game or something and bump into somebody. You maybe go to creative auctions and find somebody over there. You never know. Get out. So,
Okay.
it's just a matter. So what it really does is it encourages you to get out and don't just sit around and mope. If you
That's right.
you can
Find you a companion, somebody
Right.
you can hang out with.
It can be somebody who starts out as a friend that
Right.
they encourage you, hey, and then you just go out and have little social outings, and next thing you know, well, Jed's a millionaire. You know what I mean? So
Right.
just do little things like that, and there is space and room for someone else to be in your life if you allow it, but you have
There
to
you
be
go.
open to it first.
Well, we're
Ann,
winding down now. You got a little funny little clip for us before we
I do,
say.
but Ann has a question first.
Oh, Ann,
She's giving her
okay.
fingers up. She's giving the hand down. That's not a question. She's giving the thumbs up. Okay.
Oh, you have the thumbs up. Okay.
All right now, Ann.
Charles, I
Yeah.
was very disappointed in the fact that I am so disabled now that I could not get around American University this last Monday without a
Oh, really?
wheelchair. And the dean had to push me. That's okay, but I wasn't ready for that. I just hadn't prepared for it. Now, I want to ask you, I'm very serious. I need instructions on how to use a wheelchair. I have called a volunteer group here in my area, but this is very sparsely populated here in West Virginia, and I'm not finding anybody. Have you got a suggestion on who I can call to teach me to use a wheelchair?
What about a power chair? You don't want one?
I honestly don't have room. You see right here, what room I have.
Well,
But how do you get a chair? You drive a truck. How in a
I don't
car?
drive myself. I don't drive that truck. I'm the
You do
owner.
not.
I don't drive.
They are available
I
for,
see.
for
Yes,
wheelchairs.
but
Yeah.
I have people who do. I don't drive. I'm the owner.
But you do drive, do you
I
not?
drive every day. Yes, I drive.
So
But see,
now,
okay,
how have you managed to do that? How have you managed to learn to manipulate or essentially get be mobile with a wheelchair?
Okay, let me tell you, and it takes lots of years of endurance. So for instance, I came out before I even left the hospital after I had my car accident that put me in this wheelchair. I was playing basketball in the hospital. I was an athlete before, and so there's years of working and being athlete. You build up shoulder muscles and arms and all of that. So for someone who's not using a wheelchair, and then you're at the age that you are, it will be more difficult because you're not using your arms for the bulk of your work. You use
Not
your
only
legs.
that, my shoulder was broken
And
and
so
it's a lot of pain in my shoulder, right?
And so it would take you finding and I don't know what you're in. What is it, West Virginia or Virginia?
West Virginia.
You're in West Virginia, and I have no idea of what kind of resources are there. But if you go to healthcare or anything, you can almost maybe Google. A PT would be something like a little exercise. But what I can do is I can email you a pamphlet on shoulder because I work in research and we've done research studies over the years where we find out that 80% of people that use wheelchairs, by the time they reach their 20th year, 80% of the people have shoulder pain.
I
And,
bet they do. Yeah, I can see
and
that.
so we came up with specific exercises. We did this is a little side something, but we did a study. We took half the group, we put them in a class. They watched the video. We sent them home for I don't know, what was it, 12 weeks or something, or 8 to 12 weeks. Then we did the other half. They watched the video and we gave them some bands to use,
Yeah,
and do specific exercises, and everybody had to have shoulder pain. When
yeah.
they came back, 70 or 80% of those people who had it was a high number who had shoulder pain, who did the exercises, no more. Just
Is that
multiply.
right?
They built up the upper body strength.
Well,
huh?
let me
Yes.
ask you another question. I had a group go with me, a young woman who was very new to our project, and a woman who had been with us for about 10 years. And the woman who'd been with us for years kept wanting to pull out chairs for me and wait and put me in at the table, and it offended me. I couldn't help it. I mean, I can sit in a chair by myself. I can pull a chair out. I can sit in it, and I can scoot myself up.
Well,
Yeah.
I
And
can
she
see
got
that.
real offended. So how do you deal with people when they're trying to help, but you really don't want them to?
Well, welcome to the club.
Yeah,
A lot of times you have to. Some people in wheelchairs get offended and they go about it in a nasty way. But, that's not the way to do it because people are authentically trying to help you.
yeah,
What you have to do is, like, I get it all the time, oh, you need some help? I said, no, thank you. I'm okay. You just have to be politely, thank you, but no, I'm okay, and then,
Right.
so you have to just let them know because some people don't know. You may be in a wheelchair and walk every day. You're just using the chair for,
yeah,
because you are, being, and so you say, oh, I don't normally do this, but I'm okay. You have to let them know, kind of, because they just assume everybody in the wheelchair can't walk, they can't do anything. That this wheelchair is they're confined to it 24/7. Pretty much, whenever.
right,
And
right.
so you have to just respectfully let them know, this is just something I'm doing while I'm here because and hey, I know people who don't
Right.
use wheelchairs and they need to get
She
something.
got really mad at me. I think she's permanently mad, and it
But
really
you know what? If she is, she must be young,
she must be what?
very young.
No, she's not. She's 54.
That's young to me. I mean,
And then
compared
just
to yourself. You know, 'cause
instead of a card, something like that.
it's
But
someone that you interact with.
I might do that. Wendy, I needed your assurance. I'm a little bit down right now because we're losing roses left and right. And just as I started my presentation, I got notice of a death.
Hmm.
And it's hard to be a public person for me in the first place. But for the show to go on when somebody's died, it's just hard.
yeah, it's hard. But your
Yes.
contribution to the Rosies, that has to be have to be
hope-
commended. I mean, you are doing something about it.
I think it's going to turn out better than.
Yeah, and I've seen what you've done. So don't
get.
get disheartened. I mean, I understand you're disheartened because of losing another Rosie.
Keep your head up and refuse to lose.
Yeah, and it is a blessing that you have got to meet these phenomenal women to just sit at their feet and just learn and hear their stories. Because when you bring them on, it's like, I don't remember yesterday, and here she is, 100 years old, telling me what she did 90 years ago.
What did you have for breakfast? You don't know.
Yes, no. So and I understand it's hard. You said you just got this information.
Yeah.
And sometimes we feel guilty. When you just said that, it took me back. It was my 42nd birthday, and I remember it clearly. And I'm up and I'm singing to myself, "Happy birthday, it's your birthday," and I'm singing, I'm getting dressed for work, and I got a phone call. And my niece called me to tell me my nephew had been rushed to the hospital. It's like, okay, God, this is not funny. Are you serious? Because then it's just like, it's my birthday.
Yeah.
And then I got the call later in the day that he passed.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, how do you make sense of you're here and celebrating and this is happening? So you're online and you're here working, and then you get this text message or call that somebody just passed, and it's like, how do you reconcile this? And you just have to go with the
Just have to go.
Yeah. You have to go with the flow and be thankful for them for being a part of their lives and them being a part of your life.
Yeah.
And
the
celebrate
contributions that she's making towards these women in the
I think
legacy.
one of the things that's happening, folks, and I need your support in this. I'm not a public person. I've never been happy, and I feel pretentious when I'm out front. But in my own way, I'm a leader, see. And so now one of the things that's happening is that I'm going to gain more and more prominence, and I've got to keep a positive tone. I keep thinking of Eisenhower through the Battle of the Bulge. I mean, it was just hideous. And he just kept saying the only thing that he knew to do was keep a positive tone. But at some point you have to say, I'm really discouraged. So
take a break.
Hard balance. It's a hard balance.
Come back on.
You have to reach your inner spirit.
Yes.
Right.
Well, you're right.
And that right there, boom.
And who I am. I've always known who I am. I think that I hope that pulls me through.
It will.
Even as an early child, I knew exactly who I was, and I had a heck of a lot of responsibility, and I didn't mind it, but sometimes, it's a burden. It's a burden.
Dr. Childers, do I have your permission to send Ann your contact information, because she needs to hear from you with some self-care and some prayer.
Yes, I was just about to say, yes, you can talk offline and give it. Yes, please do.
Yeah, I will.
I appreciate that, and I actually count you all as very important in my life. I want to say, Lauren, I don't have that many items, but that picture that I showed you just now of Anna ringing the bell at the National Cathedral, she signed that. You think anybody would buy a sign
for
Rosie?
I don't know excuse me for cutting in, but I'm quite sure that Lauren would love to have a Rosie's display.
Yeah,
Don't you think, Lauren? Because those are,
What I
that's,
would probably do is have it framed and maybe put a tag on it.
right.
And, a year of, talk about the roses, just like on a tag, if there's a quote or something to put on it. And
And that she donates that money back to your organization. And
Okay, so we need to talk to. So
right.
thanks for being there, folks.
So I'll email you both their contact information and their
Okay,
phone numbers.
email
Okay?
me your address because I'm ready to order bells. You're going to get a box of bells.
I will offline. I will. I don't want the world to know where I'll be.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank
All
you so much. We're winding down now. Charles, you got one little ending to do before we say goodbye.
Ending.
Huh?
Yes, one little Indian. Let's see. Not Indian. Ending. We're
Yeah,
gonna show a little
funny
animal.
clips. He likes to end it with these funny clips.
Funny clips. This is the kind of stuff that we need to see.
Something to make you laugh.
Yes.
This one's today is about. Well, I'm just gonna show it. I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm gonna just show it.
Look at who you came to see. We the ghosts, you better bow when we step on your street. We the ghosts, you better. I'll see what it is out here. We out here shining and glistening on these mountain tops on the countryside. Oh, you goddamn right. We the go to the goats. Look at who you came to see. We the ghosts, you better.
That's so funny.
You.
Such a cuckoo.
All right.
I love
That
it.
was cute. Yeah, that was cute.
Okay. Okay, well, we're getting ready to wind it down now. And I'd like to say before we close, I want to remind our viewers about our amazing advertisement rates. We have 20 and 30-second advertisement slots available. So if you're interested, email info@operationconfidence.org for some additional information. And also go to our website to check out our resource page. Again, that's operationconference.org. And I would like to also inform our viewers about Amazon Smile. When making your next purchase on Amazon, please type in Operation Confidence in the choose your organization's donation box. Amazon will make a small donation to Operation Confidence. Charles, take it away on this part.
All right. To our viewers, we would like to inform you about the Operation Confidence Positive Redirection Team. It's a group of male and female veterans who are mentors having overcome similar challenges and situations transitioning back into mainstream society. To be connected or become a team member, email us at info@operationconfidence.org. That's info@operationconfidence.org.
Okay, and as always, I want to remind our viewers about what our goal is, and that's to raise awareness about Operation Confidence's mission, which is to provide stable housing with a wide range of supportive services for our veterans, and especially those with disabilities. We're talking about employment opportunities and more. So to get involved with our grassroots efforts, please send us an email at info@operationconfidence.org. And as I said before, visit our website. That's www.operationconfidence.org. And we missed our Taylor today and Martha, but they will be back next week. They had some out-of-town commitments, and as I said, we'll return next week. So thank you all. And oh, by the way, don't forget to subscribe to America's Invisible Heroes YouTube channel. We got our own channel. We've had that channel for almost a year now. We want to bring up our race. Some of the shows that we're on have a couple of thousand viewers, so we're getting out there, Charles, and our co-hosts. Yeah, so we're getting there. So please subscribe to it so more people will know about what we're doing. Okay, Charles, it's on you, and I want to thank everyone for being on today. We had a great show today. and some great information. And we'll be back next week.
Next week. So
Next week.
take care of yourselves, be safe, and
There you go.
life.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Ooh, press play.
Adios.
Bye-bye. See you next week. Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.